A man walks into a bar and asks the bartender, "If I show you a really good trick, will you give me a free drink?" The bartender considers it, then agrees. The man reaches into his pocket and pulls out a tiny rat. He reaches into his other pocket and pulls out a tiny piano. The rat stretches, cracks his knuckles, and proceeds to play the blues. After the man finished his drink, he asked the bartender, "If I show you an even better trick, will you give me free drinks for the rest of the night?" The bartender thinks that nothing could possibly top the first trick, so he agrees. The man reaches into another pocket and pulls out a small bullfrog, who begins to sing along with the rat's music. While the man is enjoying his beverages, a stranger confronts him and offers him $100,000 for the bullfrog. "Sorry," the man replies, "he's not for sale." The stranger increases the offer to $250,000 cash up front. "No," he insists, "he's not for sale." The stranger again increases the offer, this time to $500,000 cash. The man finally agrees and turns the frog over to the stranger in exchange for the money. "Are you insane?" the bartender demanded. "That frog could have been worth millions to you, and you let him go for a mere $500,000. "Don't worry about it," the man answered. "The frog was really nothing special. You see, the rat's a ventriloquist." A young, newlywed couple was planning their future together, and soon they realized that they wanted to join a church. They went to their local church and asked how to join and take part in church life. The pastor told them, "We have special requirements for new parishioners. You must abstain from having sex for 2 weeks to show that you are serious about your faith." The couple agreed and came back at the end of 2 weeks. The pastor asked them, "Well, were you able to get through the 2 weeks without being intimate?" "Pastor, I'm afraid we were not able to go without it for the 2 weeks," the young man replied. "What happened?" inquired the pastor. "My wife was reaching for a can of paint on the top shelf and dropped it. When she bent over to pick it up, I was overcome with lust, lifted her skirt, and took her right then and there. You understand, of course, that this means you will not be welcome in our church," stated the pastor. "I understand," said the young man. "We're not welcome at Home Depot anymore either." The boss called one of his employees into the office. "Rob," he said, "you've been with the company for 6 months. You started off in the mailroom. Just 1 week later, you were promoted to a sales position, and 1 month after that, you were promoted to district sales manager. Just 4 months later, you were promoted to vice president. Now it's time for me to retire, and I want you to take over the company. What do you say to that?" "Thanks," said the employee. "Thanks," the boss replied. "That's all you can say?" "Oh, sorry," the employee said. "Thanks, Dad." An employee went to see his supervisor. "Boss," he said, "we're doing some heavy house cleaning at home tomorrow, and my wife asked me to help with the attic and the garage, moving and hauling stuff." "We're short-handed," the boss replied. "I can't give you the day off." "Thank you," said the employee. "I knew I could count on you." A man and a woman are having dinner in a restaurant. The waitress, taking another order a few tables away, spots that the man is slowly sliding down his chair and under the table, while the woman acts unconcerned. As the waitress watches, the man slides all the way under and out of sight. Still, the woman dining opposed to him appears not to notice. Finally, the waitress comes over to the table and discreetly whispers to the woman, "Pardon me, miss, but I think your husband just slid under the table." "No, he didn't," the woman calmly replies. "He just walked in the door." A professor at a well-known medical school was lecturing his students on how to perform a self-exam on the breasts and testicles. After class, one of the lady students asks Paul, another medical student, "Do you get an erection when you examine your testicle?" "Not always, but some of the time," he replied. "If you do get an erection, what do you do?" "I don't do anything," he said. "You mean to tell me you go around with an erection all day long?" The young male student was taken aback. "Why, no." She was getting a little upset. "Are you telling me if you get an erection, it will go down all on its own?" she asked. "Well, yes," he said. She was furious and said, "I'm going to kill my husband." Walter took his wife Ethel to the Saint Fair every year, and every time he would say to her, "Ethel, you know that I'd love to go for a ride in that helicopter." But Ethel would always reply, "I know, Walter, but that helicopter ride is $50, and $50 is $50. Finally, they went to the fair, and Walter said to Ethel, "Ethel, you know I'm 87 years old now. If I don't ride that helicopter this year, I may never get another chance." Once again, Ethel replied, "Walter, you know that helicopter is $50, and $50 is $50. This time, the helicopter pilot overheard the couple's conversation and said, "Listen, folks, I'll make a deal with you. I'll take both of you for a ride if you can both stay quiet for the entire ride and not say a word. I won't charge you. But if you say just one word, it's $50. Walter and Ethel agreed, and up they went in the helicopter. The pilot performed all kinds of fancy moves and tricks, but not a word was said by either Walter or Ethel. The pilot did his death-defying tricks over and over again, but still, there wasn't so much as one word said. When they finally landed, the pilot turned to Walter and said, "Wow! I've got to hand it to you. I did everything I could to get you to scream or shout out, but you didn't." "I'm really impressed," Walter replied. "Way to be honest, I almost said something when Ethel fell out, but, you know, $50 is $50. A local bar was so confident that its bartender was the strongest man around that they offered a standing $1,000 bet. The bartender would squeeze a lemon until all the juice ran into a glass, and then give the lemon to a patron. Anyone who could squeeze another drop of juice out would win the money. Many people tried, but nobody was able to do it. One day, a scrawny little man came in wearing thick glasses and a polyester suit. He said in a squeaky voice, "I'd like to try the bet." After the laughter died down, the bartender grabbed a lemon and squeezed it. Then he handed the wrinkled remains of the rind to the little man, who clenched it in his small fist. Soon the crowd's laughter turned to total silence as 6 drops of juice fell into the glass. As the crowd cheered, the bartender paid the $1,000 and asked the little man, "What do you do for a living?" The little man replied with a winning smile, "I work for the IRS."